it could land.
Alright guys, Spelum here, back with another episode of Twin Mirror. Currently listening to the live feed update for BB Can, which is almost done, so we have 7 minutes.
That's the move. I think the move is to take out Vic.
Bar here.
Make it seem like, hey, Vic is the one that came for us. We're keeping you two safe. We're gonna take a shot at Vic here. And you take out somebody that is
also
good competition on the
professional
other side,
and
you kind of
eating
some kind of,
my lunch because,
to be
honest, I don't have much time outside of this to do it, so it's like, fuck it, who gives a shit?
And here's the thing, you put up Vic with Ray or Austin as the pawn.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say too.
Piss them off, right? They're my enemies. Now, after Vic is gone, it's Austin and Brayden who still hate our guts, right? So you know that we're still going after them. Don't come after us, right? And you know, look.
That's where Nick and I sat every time he dragged me out to the
after you over Austin and Brayden.
And that way they're not leaving the possibility open for a flip to get Tara out, and then they're back and just against this big alliance.
Oh, me?
And then we did see a little bit this morning that Tara, Tina, and Kiefer were talking about what to do moving forward. And Kiefer says he does want to be here, and he says that he is still going to be loyal to the Sunsetters, but he does see clearly now that he is an expendable member of the Alliance, and so he is most loyal to Tina and Tara. It does seem like Kiefer will be joining the sort of floaters group here with Tina and Tara. He wants to call them the pre-90s because they'll be the only ones left that were born pre-90s.
I think an alliance name. Think of something they can put on the show. The Sunsetters. Great alliance name. Pre-90s. What does that even look like? Are they gonna put like scrunchies?
Kiefer just likes alliance names that make his alliance members seem old.
What was the other one?
Sunsetters and pre-90s.
Is Sunsetters old?
There were so many people that thought that the Sunsetters was because it had the old people in it.
What does Sunsets have to do with old
sounds like
people?
the name of a retirement home.
Sounds like the name of a fun beach resort. The Sunsetters.
A
You go
fun
out with your
beach resort
friends.
that is also a retirement home, maybe.
Sure. Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't like this name as much. I hope they come up with something better because I really like this pairing. And Kiefer not wanting to be in the alliance is entirely their fault because they've spent so much time this week
This is
talking
the
in
most
front of Kiefer and
depressing
Latoya.
fucking
Like,
group of
they'll just
characters
start
I've ever seen in
sentences
a
with,
game.
oh yeah, and next week, like when Latoya's here, or oh yeah, oh, and we'll have to get Kiefer, and they just like trail off. It's like, yeah, Kiefer's gone. Oh yeah, Kiefer, you're right here. We can't finish that sentence. Like, at least pretend to be sad or something, or stop having these conversations in front of him. Like, it's just so frustrating.
Yeah, and this confirms to me too that like I was leaning toward Tina and Tara keeping Kiefer as a good thing over Toya. I'm feeling even stronger about it now. The fact that Kiefer is like locked in with Tina and Tara is very good for them, especially because he is retaining his connections to the Sunsetters. Even if Kyle, or even if Jed and Ty did win the HOH and thought about like throwing up Tara as a pawn, you would be able to have Kiefer in their ear like, no, I've got them. You don't put them up, right? So this is definitely a very good direction for these middle players to be able to pull in Kiefer and see where that goes. But that's about what we have for you here today, unless there's anything else that you wanted to bring up, Mel.
Did you hear them call Kevin Martin not a compeist?
Yeah, I heard about that.
What? He didn't win games he didn't win comps until the end. That's what a compeist is. You win a couple throughout the game and then you steamroll at the end. And they said, Dane didn't really win any comps? Yes, many.
Yeah.
They were very wrong. I can't believe they would tarnish Kevin Martin's name like that. Anyways, no, I have nothing else.
Yeah, none of them have watched live feeds, by the way. None of, like...
They knew a lot about the show, though. I was impressed. They were dropping, like, straight quotes. I can't remember, but, like, Poutine Poppy quotes, like... Yeah, so they're at least show fans. That's more than we usually get.
Yes, Kiefer was the only one that had tried live feeds, and he was like, yeah, but every time I turned them on, people were just sitting around doing nothing, so I didn't watch. It's kind of like what we're doing right now, actually.
Go be exciting, but no, actually, we appreciated the day rest.
Alright, so that's what we have for you. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I am going to be back in just a couple hours with Booyah to talk about the Circle, the Celebrity Circle UK, where we wrapped up that quick 1 week season. It was very fun. Definitely recommend checking it out. And of course, I will be back again tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern with the second roundtable of the season, where we will update the Stockwatch prices, we'll rate the players, and we'll talk about the week on the feeds, give a nice summary of what's been happening, and we'll talk Sunsetters versus Oddballs. In the survey, it's time to choose which side are you on, Team Sunsetters or Team Oddballs. So make sure.
I forgot to buy last week or something. Didn't go all in on someone terrible.
Oh boy.
Not like Maggie.
Where'd you go, Mel?
I was on the Beth train.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why people felt confident about Beth. For me, I was never confident about Beth.
Oh, we're canceling your trip to Disney World. Wait, we can go get ice cream? There's something. Today's not totally terrible. Yes, terrible. I don't get to go to Disney twice.
I think a lot of people are gonna be in trouble. So
that's actually a really interesting first week, because usually we get a bunch of people that were just in the middle, and then there's a dominant alliance, and all of them go up a little bit, and now it's kind of like everyone's just everywhere. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, that's what we have for you for tonight. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern to update you on everything that happens today on the Big Brother Canada 9 live feeds. If you want to fill out the survey and rate the players yourself, or choose which team you're on, I will be tweeting it out after this podcast ends. You can find me there on Twitter at ArmstrongTaryn, or you can find me on Twitch, twitch.tv/TarynArmstrong. That's where I will be streaming about.
Like a bat out of hell, the instant that article
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, I'll bite. Tell me, Dennis, who did you have a standing bet with?
Myself. So I guess I also won.
What are you even doing?
This is such a fucking boring set of characters, though, so far.
Nope. He thought I was a drunk, which I am. And I thought he was a hack, which he was.
This coming from the IT guy. Didn't know resetting passwords could give you a journalism degree.
It can.
Yeah, this is really feeling bland to me so far. Even like not Twin Tell Me Why, which like I haven't been loving so far. I feel like that game at least had a lot more intrigue.
At least tell me how you been.
If you must know, I still haven't bounced back from when Anna and I broke up.
I think you mentioned she broke up with you. Yeah, but I hear you. Yeah, that's how I ended up in this shit town, chasing a woman. Yeah, then she left and I got stuck here with 2 kids. Anyway, cheers to Nick, a man that, unlike us, people
Actually, never did
like.
finish listening to this. Karen talking about the Stockwatch last week.
Taco Bell's queso.
Which I actually don't know where he went. Again, for me, I felt like the obvious, like, safe buy was Tina, which is why I did it. So it'll be interesting if what he did.
Fake Stockwatch money lost in the market.
It's gonna be funny though to see how many people lost money, because like so many people are going down in the ratings.
The game was a lot easier when we just had to buy Cody. Yeah, but I mean even so, like in Big Brother 22, Cody was not always the best buy, and that's sort of because of the formula and how the formula worked. Yeah, Chantel is rating next week, so look at her tweets, get a sense. She's been on podcasts, get a sense of like how she feels about the players. But you know, even if you do have a read on the person, that does not mean that you'll be able to know usually a bit of an unknown as well, so.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom. Let's see.
Because obviously this podcast is like from almost a month ago. Or not podcast, but live stream.
Anna?
It's from almost
Current vote stand. Current vote. When the feeds cut, the vote was still against Josh, but there's plenty of reason to believe it could have flipped in the time since the
I picked the wrong one. Ah, fuck. How far back is it going to take me? I fucked that up. Do I care enough to
why I
fucking
wouldn't
argue?
split between Tina and Ty again. I mean, it's just like, if one of them moves up higher than the other, then you're missing out on profit, and anybody that invested all in on the one that went higher than the other will be ahead of you.
I'll have to try and come by more often. That's what I'm
basically,
supposed to, right? Even if
what you're
everyone
hoping
around
for,
here
if you invest in both Tina and Ty, is that they both get 8s. And then you'll make the same amount as somebody who went all in on either one of them.
Maybe in a year or two.
If Tina gets an 8 but Ty goes down, then you've made 40% on half your money, but lost 16% on the other half. And anybody that went all in on Tina is going to be in a much better position than you. Now, granted, you'll be in a much better position than anyone that went all in on Ty, so it's a safer position. But when you're competing with other players, you have to manage that risk.
I was trying to make things better.
You always do. Try, at least.
Actually, I want to look at the stock
When my
watch.
father lost his legs, nobody knew the mine
Like,
wasn't
based on
following
how I
regulations.
see the ratings
You were
going.
the only one who started asking questions.
No ways to
Whenever people
short
talk about you,
players
he
yet.
always says,
Yeah.
I just want to see
It's also like
well,
who I think
because
is
it's
going to
like,
be the best buy this week.
well, how do you
I think it
you
might be
short
Terra
Josh,
or
right? I mean,
Braden.
this week it actually could be interesting, but like in a normal week, you have a very strong idea about who's going to go home. Like, do you just short that person? What does that mean for shorts? Do you not allow shorts on that person?
He always wanted to write
And then also
something
everything else that I explained.
Colors of heaven.
Like I said, I think it's doable, but it would be
No. Nick and I have moved
that I'd have to work on.
started to get serious. But I think it's only now I realize.
We've not talked about players yet.
I think Austin might be a
Do we
good
know the
buy.
rough time feeds shut down?
Actually, Austin might be a really good buy.
Previous years. I mean, I think
Braden's
today
actually going to
they
be an
shut down
insane
at like
buy, actually. I didn't realize he was at 3.
2 o'clock earlier.
You and Nick started going out? When did this happen?
A few months ago, he
Yeah,
never
Braden's
told
going to be a really insane
Yeah,
buy.
exactly, Silly Rabbit. The goal
I didn't realize
is
he was
different
at
from the real
3,
stock market
so
because
he's more than
you're
likely going to be like
competing
around
against
the
other
6.
people rather than just trying to make
That's
any
going
money.
to be a 32% increase on someone really fucking cheap. So that's insane.
Shut it at noon. Yeah.
Increase there for anyone that went all in on Braden.
This was
All in on
always
Austin's pretty good too.
funerals,
She might go up
the wake.
25%. Beth is going to drop.
Walter did a good job.
Jed is going to drop. Josh is gone. Kiefer might stay the same, if not drop a little
The
bit.
problem with shorting in that sense, again,
Kyle
would have to
is
be
probably going to
reworked
stay around
in
the
a
same,
pretty
if not
major
slight
way because,
increase.
looking
Latoya is
at
going to
like,
drop. Rowe is probably going to
like Josh, right?
increase
Josh
a little
is a 2.
bit.
Right now, if Josh moves up to a 3,
Tara's
you'll
going to be a
make
pretty good
9%
buy.
because a 2 to a 3 is a very minor move.
Yeah,
right?
Tina I think will probably...
Don't rock the boat when the person
Josh
If she
stays at a 2,
if she stays at an 8, it was a pretty fucking good buy. Not the best buy on the board, but I feel like I'll be in a really good spot. If she gets a 7, then I'm like, okay. Below that, obviously, is not bad, but I don't think she'll get below that.
So the amount you lose would have to change. It's a little bit trickier, I think, than it
I
sounds.
don't even know.
But anyway, all right.
Sam, I'm tired, and if I'm gonna drink
Yeah,
and
Ty's gonna
cry,
Let's
drop.
talk about these players.
No, Victoria.
I played that stupid,
Who should you buy?
stupid song like
Who should
I
you
told
not
myself
buy?
I would.
We
He
have
said, of course,
Austin,
he used to say, it made
currently
him
a
ache.
4 out of 10. Let's click in
I
on.
did it, and I'm going home.
Um,
We need to catch up, though.
this camera.
Let's meet
I
for
need
coffee
to
tomorrow
remember
and talk.
I'm gonna buy a new cable first, because that's the cheapest option. DD, thank you for the 1,000 bits. I appreciate that. And Jay Preet gifting a sub to Mel.
It was honestly nice.
Thank you. It's definitely when I move, which makes me feel like it's a loose cable, but I've tried tightening them. And it's not doing anything. It's actually a pretty new cable. I actually just got a new one because Callus broke the old one. And the problem is that there's two cables that I'm working with as well. So I'm gonna have to buy 2 new cables. That's the cheapest option. And then if that doesn't work, I'm gonna have to look at the capture card. And if that doesn't work, then I'm screwed because I just got this camera. All right.
So Nick wasn't drunk, and me?
That was actually like Callus breaking this one was less his fault. It was more that like he was running around and then it just got pulled out really hard.
Maybe Ethan has a suggestion for a worthy spirit.
Austin.
Spirits? Oh no. Friends.
Austin had 4s from everyone except for Asia.
Dear Nicholas.
Interesting. We're looking at again. Asia will not be on next week.
Yeah,
So, Asia's rating of a 3, not necessarily indicative of where it might go in the future. Same is always true of the audience. The audience could always go anywhere. But she's pretty solidly at a 4 here. That's as HOH with a very bad HOH rate. I think in order for Austin to move up, she will need to be placed in a good position. I think the way that I like to look at the stock watch is, all right, heading into next week, what are the possibilities? Now, unfortunately for us this week,
Cut this whole town out of
there are a ton of
Place is
possibilities.
in your blood. It's like an old glove.
There's-
Have to give it time.
What if Ro gets evicted? What if Josh gets evicted? Those are the 2 universes that we're starting with. Okay, in both of those universes, what happens if each person wins HOH?
There's another
Those
world.
branch out into different universes.
There is none.
If each person wins HOH, what happens
That's when you're
if they target certain people?
You know, Robert Burns.
So on and so forth. Usually, if you're like, this person's definitely going home, if this person wins HOH, this definitely happens. So it's like a 2 to 8 shot that, this will happen. No, not this week. Not this week.
I think even Dennis.
What Austin should be hoping
We
for
always had a lot of friends.
is Josh goes home
Send flowers.
and
How's the family taking it?
Braden, Ro,
Joan and
or
Kathy
Kyle
seem shitty.
win HOH.
Kathy has a lot to deal with.
Victoria winning wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
I don't think. Maybe it would. She claims she'd go after them, but I don't know. But those would all be pretty good. She'd be safe for sure. Anybody on her team winning even wouldn't be terrible.
Smile, no matter what.
But in order for her rating to go
Good
up,
man. That one deserves to be
I think she would need
Not a quality
Kyle
rifle.
or Ro to win. She needs Kyle and Ro to be safe, and she needs them to approach her about it. She needs to get in with a solid alliance. She needs to ditch Ty and Jet. If she gets brought into a Kyle Ro opposition
He
alliance,
was my friend. He will be missed.
I think that's a
not
pretty good
forgotten.
spot for her. Her head will be a...
Okay.
underage child doing drinking. You have no control over her. They think to lose class.
Doing anything! Don't touch me! Joan! Leave me alone. You guys are all so stupid!
You do not talk to people that way.
No, she can. I don't give a shit.
Kyle and Ro will be bigger targets.
I'm sorry, everyone. She's just so...
Oh, fuck off.
Stressed out? Time to refresh your rhythm with Travis.
That was quite heavy-handed. I hope the little one doesn't take it to heart.
And she'll still have, you know, an ally in Brayden and a connection to Victoria. That's not a bad place to be. Now, I don't have a lot of faith in her as a player, so I think her max is probably a 6 right now. If, like, everything goes right and she gets into a great position next week, I'm still probably only looking at a 6 unless she really surprises us and now that, like, stuff has happened, she really gets into the game. But that seems a little bit unlikely to me as of right now. So, for me, 6 seems like her max. That's 25% increase. And I could see her in danger.
Yeah, obviously, I don't regret the Tina buy, though. I feel like Tina was 100% the safe buy for the week.
I don't think
with a decent potential to go up.
I think Toya would, or could at the very least. Like, let's say, let's look at this. Like, who is Toya nominating if she wins HOH? I think she absolutely would. She has 7 options. She's not nominating Tina. She's not nominating Ty. She's not nominating Beth. She's probably not going to nominate Victoria. Although, no, she might actually nominate Victoria. Cross that. Who's this leaving? We've got Austin, Victoria, Kyle, and
Nice. I'd say that went well. Ish.
Tara. She's not nominating Tara.
Chat with everyone been avoiding. Even if
I think it's more likely that she puts up 1 of, or 2 of Kyle, Austin.
Coming back to basketball was your idea.
You're the one in the driver's seat, Sam.
Tara's an option, but I don't think she'd be. I will get Tara there. I think Tara's an option, but I don't think she would be the first person she reaches to. So, with that in mind, obviously Kyle would be the target. Austin would be a pawn in that spot. Victoria could be the pawn. But what if one of them was veto? Then Austin goes up. Are they taking out Victoria or Austin?
So very sorry.
Austin for having won an HOH,
Stuck in existence. Stuck in my head.
More allies in the game,
Terrible
right?
state you're in.
Awesome. No.
Get your anger and sarcasm out of your system.
For Austin. Generally, you want to avoid anybody that
Take
might
it out
even
on
be
me
on the
than
block,
anyone else.
because even if they're still in a good spot, being on the block will really limit the rating that they'll get.
That's progress. Fuck the world.
It takes
pointless talk.
Very specific scenarios where it's like this person's definitely staying, and when they do stay, they'll be in a really good spot.
Let me
or a nominee to have a decent rating, even if they're just a pawn. Because you always want to account for the fact that like, they could go home. Something could change and they could go home. I mean, it's exactly what happened to Ro. Ro, not in a terrible spot in general, but the fact that he's on the block was limiting his rating. I probably would have given Ro something like a 5 or a 6 if he wasn't on the block, but he was on the block, so I gave him a 4. And for good reason. He nearly went home / still could be going home. So, gotta watch out for that. So Toya, I think, would have Austin potentially on the block. Jed would probably go more toward Tara, Kyle, if you went after Kyle, or Tara.
No. Stay out.
Maybe Tara. Would he put up Vic? I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Less likely to put up Austin, because he's in a fake alliance with her. But she would be an option if he needed to.
What happened last night?
Ro probably's not putting Austin on the block. Kiefer would put Austin on the block. Potentially might even target Austin.
I black out or what?
Let me guess, he's gonna be framed for like some sort of murder or something.
I can't think straight. Need some water on my face. Late for checkout. They can wait a bit more.
Who am I forgetting? Brayden. Brayden obviously wouldn't put her on the block. So, that's like 2 people, right? 2 people where she could end up on the block. That's not bad. And no, we don't know for sure that the teams are continuing, or that they'll be the same teams. So that is something to consider as well, for sure. I do expect the teams to continue, though. That would be my guess. That would be my bet. I'm betting on it, and I am betting on it.
At least it won't take me long to get my things.
Not a terrible shot at being on the block, but also, like, how is she going to move up? Her position will need to improve, and Her gameplay will need to improve. Austin for me is just not a great buy. There's just not a lot here.
Ironic.
The fact that she needs a 7.
Already feel more human.
She really need to turn it around.
Now, where did I
to
put
even
my
come close
shirt?
to, possibility of a decent.
I was at least hoping I'd look better than I feel.
So yeah, bad buy. Bad buy.
It is funny how, like, the people who, like, I feel like the people that are going to be at the top of the Stockwatch this week are probably people who have no clue how to play Stockwatch.
I gave her 7, Melissa.
And made, like, a terrible decision. But are going to be benefited by the fact that the house was just so turbulent this week that the people that were at the bottom last week are going to be towards the top this week and vice versa.
So Beth, if she stays at a 6, gives you 16%, moves up to a 7, she gets 33%. I don't see her moving up to an 8. Let's be real, after the events of the last couple days, I don't think many players are going to have an 8. I don't know if any players are going to have an 8. No players have been playing at an 8 level since the roundtable. So, I could easily see her staying at a 6. She's not in a lot of danger. Kyle and Rowe
And that's an 8 fall.
kind of coming for her, but I don't really see them following through with that. I think that they would prefer to go after other players, because think of it this way: Kyle and Rowe need numbers. Based on the events of today, they could be with Tina.
Okay.
And Tara. And Tina would want to sway them off of Beth a little bit.
Are we in game?
She could.
Oh, we are.
If they stick with
Kind of.
Austin and Brayden, they
It's just
will
fucking weird. Or, like,
sway her
we're
off
not
of Beth.
really, but we are.
So, I don't really see Beth being in too much danger. Not to mention the fact that if Rogue goes, then there's nobody that can put Beth up if Team's in place.
Be more careful.
Because Rogue is the only person that would do it on the other side. Toya's not putting
Oh,
Beth
am I
up.
supposed to avoid those?
She's not putting Beth up. Jed's
Find
not
a
putting
way
Beth
to
up.
calm down.
Kiefer's not putting Beth up. Brayden's not putting Beth up. And that just leaves either Josh or Roe. Josh wouldn't do it if he stays. And Roe, even if he stays, I don't think
fuck off.
would put Beth. I mean, he might do like Beth and or Ty, right? He could do that. And that would put Beth in a lot of danger. But
What the fuck is this?
it's a very niche scenario there. And
Oh, fuck.
there's not
Ah,
many
damn it.
possibilities otherwise
God damn
she's
it.
even on the block at all.
Sam,
Now,
focus.
where does
You have
her
to find the
position
right
go?
door.
I don't think
You
her
need to
position
steady
falls too
yourself.
much. I think she's one of the
Oh,
people
do we
who's
need to get to the steady
by
yourself
all
thing?
the craziness in the last few days. So honestly, I do see Beth probably staying at a 6. I was at a 7.
Yeah,
The
in part
audience
3.
was reluctant to go above a 6. Melissa was reluctant to go above a 6. I don't think she's shown herself to be more capable in the last couple days than people thought before. So I don't know if anyone else will come up to a 7 with me, nor do I know if I will stay at a 7. But I think she's a decent shot to stay at a 6, which is 16%. So something to keep in mind. All right, let's talk about Brayden. Brayden's at a 3. Not great. Brayden has been asleep at the wheel. I would say sorry for Beth. I would say risky buy. Risky buy for Beth. Risky in the sense that
This is so dumb.
the most likely scenario is just a small profit, and you might miss out on some other things. Astro, thank you for the 100 bits. Brayden. I think Brayden is probably the worst player on the cast right now.
And it's fine because, like, I feel like Brayden is very clearly the best buy from last week at this point.
You could win HOH, you could start playing the game, you could do something.
Because
You're doing good.
I think more than likely he's going to be 5 or 6. And considering how cheap his stock was to begin with, that means that the people that go all in on him are going to have the most amount of profit.
Where does he go?
So, that's, again, kind of an ironic thing.
The nicotine in vaping liquid can cause attention issues.
I really hate Twitch to do this on demand.
Deliberately.
Because, like, the thing about YouTube, like there's around the same amount of ads as YouTube, but at least YouTube allows you to skip after 5 seconds and stuff with most ads. Twitch doesn't. Like, you're forced to watch the 30 seconds. It's like, fucking, oh wait, we're still in the game?
Yes, answers. Good or bad, I need answers.
Wait, what was that a choice? Was that a choice I just made? If it wasn't, I didn't mean to.
Maybe an HOH from him, or Roe, or Kyle. Maybe they come together, they form an alliance. That would be great for him. I could see him moving up to a 4 or 5, absolutely.
Stop thinking that. Pills and alcohol, you're lucky enough you didn't wake up dead.
Potential in the game,
I need to know what
right?
happened last night. The last place I remember is the bar, so I'll start there.
Social player.
Squeaky Nail gets hammered down.
But he needs something.
Maybe don't play lone wolf detective.
Get him going. And I just don't have faith here. If you have faith in Braden and you think that you think he's gonna be doing well, that's great. But here's the thing. He's on a team of 5 people. The teams stay the same. He's on a team of 5 people.
Yeah,
3 of which are in the Sunsetters.
Yeah, teams really shake things
Teams
up.
stay the same, and the Sunsetters stay loyal.
So either help me
He's
or
in
get
a
out of my head.
ton of trouble. if
It's your
Destiny
life,
wins
Sam.
the HOH.
I just live here.
He's a guaranteed person on the block. Almost. Actually, I think pretty much everyone would put Braden on the block, except for maybe Beth on the other side. So not only does he not have a ton of potential to move up, but he also is like in a very bad position and could easily move down.
We're gonna
I
end
say
here in a
this is
second.
An easy bad buy.
Another trophy.
Alright. Jed, currently at a 7.
Again, ironic. Jed,
Currently at a 7.
I think Jed's gonna go down for sure.
If he stays at a 7, he makes 29%. That's pretty good. Will he stay at a 7? He barely made a 7. He made a 7 because I gave him a 7, Asia gave him a 7. Melissa and the audience were at 6s. So barely making a 7,
More things change,
and
the more they
taking
stay
into
the same.
account the last
Do
couple
you
of
really
days,
think breaking and entering is a good
all
idea?
this flip stuff.
Used Ethan's hidden spare key.
It's going to be
when
harder
breaking
for
and
me to say that he can
I don't know
maintain
if
the
he'll see
7.
it
Now,
that
he
way.
will still not
I could
lose
wait for the bar to
anything
open,
if he falls
or
down to
I
a
could look
6.
for
He'll still make
answers.
1%.
I picked the latter.
But that's pretty non-existent. It's not going to do much for you. You might as well hold your money at that point.
We'll end here. Next episode, continue on.
He's also on a team